Live from Suam Daughtridge Stadium in Charlotte, North Carolina, the 2018 Conference USA Softball Championship rolls on. Western Kentucky and Louisiana Tech getting underway right now as Jordan Thomas takes the first pitch downstairs for ball number one. Hello, everyone. Sean Fox here alongside Haley Pace. Western Kentucky already a game under their belt, a 5-2 victory over Marshall earlier this afternoon for the right to take on Louisiana Tech. Jordan Thomas 1 for 4, a solo home run in that 5-2 victory earlier this afternoon. Presley Galloway inside the circle for Louisiana Tech, Conference USA's Pitcher of the Year. 2.41 ERA, 17-8 record on the year, making her 24th start. 160 innings of work under her belt, 140 strikeouts, as opponents are hitting .239 against her. Western Kentucky going to try and deploy the same offensive strategy in game one. That's very simple. They jumped on Marshall with 2 in the first, 1 in the third, 2 in the fourth to get their 5 runs and rode the right arm of Kelsey Ike the rest of the way. Jordan Thomas here with a 3-1 count to start. Takes the pitch downstairs, ball 4. So Thomas with a nice at-bat to start with the leadoff walk here in the first inning. Maddie Bowles will stand in. Both Thomas and now Bowles, members of the freshman all-conference team announced by league officials yesterday afternoon. Pretty good 1-2 punch at the top of your lineup with a couple of freshmen. Bowles 1 for 4 with a run scored earlier. Tries to drop the bunt down and pushes it off foul to the left. 0-1. The Lady Texters coming in 33-21 on the year. Western Kentucky now 28-25 after that 3-run victory over Marshall earlier today.
And that's Jordan Thomas's 40th base on balls on the year. That's definitely one of her strengths, is her strong eye. And not really what Presley Galloway is looking to do right off the bat is put the leadoff runner on with a walk.
0-1 pitch is fouled back. 0-2. Marshall had chances in the opener against Western Kentucky. 10 hits on the board, but they stranded 11 base runners in the defeat. Here's a slap shot foul off to the left. 0-2. Galloway earning her Pitcher of the Year honors with that 17-8 record and a 2.41 ERA. 10-4 in Conference USA games. Pitch there up and away for a ball. Louisiana Tech finishing a half game behind UAB in the Western Division, which caused them to have to play here on this Wednesday night. Single elimination here to start. Here's a poke down the third base line, just foul. An early bid for extra bases perhaps from Bowles, but just to the left of that white line, still down a ball and 2 strikes.
And that's a lot what you're going to see from Presley Galloway today is the curve and the backdoor curve, working in and out of the zone and then working ahead working up when she gets ahead.
Here's a fly ball out into left, but Morgan Turkley there to make the catch. 1 down for the shortstop, Brittany Vaughn. Vaughn was the catalyst in game 1 earlier today. 2-run blast in the top of the first inning. Very similar start for Western Kentucky. Her 2-run shot really got the Hilltoppers going, perhaps relaxed them a bit, because Western Kentucky didn't know they were playing in this conference tournament until this past weekend.
Right, they're definitely going to look for Brittany Vaughn to be one of their offensive catalysts here in this game. She leads the team in RBIs and home runs.
Fouled off out of play to the right. With their 1-0 victory over FIU on Saturday, that got them into this Conference USA tournament. These two teams did not meet in the regular season in opposite divisions. There's a pitch up and away that gets past Rosado behind the plate. Down to second goes Thomas. And something we've seen throughout the first couple of games, especially in the 1-0 game we just had of Middle Tennessee defeating North Texas. One little mistake either way can cost you. And that right there gives Thomas an extra 60 feet with Vaughn at the plate.
Definitely, and Western Kentucky's a team that's really never going to give up, so looking to capitalize on every mistake that the other team's going to make.
Well, I'm curious to watch, too, as Western Kentucky plays, if they carry some of that momentum over from Game 1. They came out and knocked off 5th-seeded Marshall, now have 4th-seeded Louisiana Tech here.
Definitely. Last year in the conference tournament, they played 2 extra inning games, so really just they love extra softball and getting to play as many innings as they can.
Galloway, perhaps nerves for her. First game of this tournament for Louisiana Tech. That's some of the nerves Western Kentucky's already worked out of the way earlier this afternoon. As the 3-1 misses outside, ball 4. So that's 2 walks here in this first inning. Jordan Vorbrink will step to the plate.
Definitely, maybe even a little more added pressure after being named pitcher of the year of the conference, maybe having the extra eyes on you, not used to that in the regular season.
Time called here, perhaps very likely to try and settle down Galloway here in this top of the first inning. Jordan Vorbrink will step to the plate next. Rebecca Englehart and Kendall Smith will be the 5 and 6 hitters of the lineup. Haley Towers, Morgan McElroy, and Kelsey McGuffin will round things out offensively here for the Hilltoppers. Shelby Nunn will get the start inside the circle after Ike's career-high 9 strikeouts over the herd got him into this second game. Again, single elimination. The winner in this one will move on to play tomorrow afternoon. And they will move on to face top-seeded Florida Atlantic at 2 o'clock. So Western Kentucky having to win 2 to get to tomorrow, whereas La Tech kind of getting that first bye to try and move on. Here comes Vorbrink in from the left side. Here's a chopper up the middle at the second base bag. There's 1, there's 2. A huge double play by Carly Jensen right at the second base bag. Ends the threat and retires the side. No runs, a runner left on. Lady Texters coming to bat next here in Charlotte. Back at Dottridge Stadium, no score as we head to the bottom half of the first. Here's the lineup Mark Montgomery has put together, his 6th season with the Lady Texters. Kimmy Atienza will lead things off. Player of the Year, Morgan Turkley, will follow. Katie Smith bats 3rd. Sloan Stewartson, a member of the Freshman All-Conference team, bats 4th. Jaslyn Crowder, 5th. Allie Galaz bats 6th. Marilyn Rosado, Bailey Simone, and Carly Jensen will round things out against the freshman right-hander Shelby Nunn. She warmed up several times earlier in Game 1 today against Marshall, but Ike was able to avoid the damage. First pitch of Nunn's conference tournament is in for a strike, 0-1. Atienza coming in, hitting .294 in her sophomore season. 3 homers, 10 RBI on the year. Pitch there misses outside. Atienza started to square around, evens up the count at a ball and a strike. UTEP spoiling Louisiana Tech's Western Division title in the final game over the weekend. More on that in a moment. 1-1 swung and missed. 1 and 2.
And that's what you're going to see from Shelby Nunn today. You're going to see her work the drop ball down in the zone to both sides of the plate, as well as that changeup that we just saw for strike 2.
La Tech had a big lead in that finale, 6-1, I believe it was, or excuse me, 5-1, before the Miners rallied back to beat them 6-5, which is forcing them to play here in this single elimination game. They've lost 3 in a row. They were so close to that Western Division title and not even having to worry about Wednesday, just going straight to double elimination, which starts tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see how they bounce back from those 3 losses today, going out against a Western Kentucky team that just won.
And in addition to that, they traveled straight from El Paso to Charlotte on Monday, which is a long travel day for anybody, basically flying right over their home in Ruston to get out here out east. 2-2s popped up down the right field line. Everyone giving chase, but it'll bounce up off of the fence and out of play.
That's a great job by Kimmy Atienza to foul that ball off. She knows that's not a pitch that she's going to be able to hit well, so she just pokes it foul, lives to see another pitch.
Looking at Louisiana Tech's schedule, they've been on the road. Their last home game was April 22nd. So really almost 3 weeks now away from home. We'll certainly have to play through that. Here's another foul ball off to the right. Atienza staying alive. Louisiana Tech coming in with a .275 team average, 4th overall in Conference USA this season, 3rd best among the 8 tournament teams here in Charlotte. We're going to rely on some hitting, pitching, defense has been pretty good as well. Another foul ball. Great battle with Atienza here leading off the bottom of the first. Outfield for Western Kentucky, the same as it was earlier. Jordan Vorbrink in left, Kelsey McGuffin in center, Jordan Thomas over in right. Rebecca Engelhardt at third, Brittany Vaughn at short. She had a fantastic game defensively as well. McElroy and Bolds on the right side of the infield. There's a changeup outside, so full count now, 3-2. And perhaps some nerve for Nunn, the freshman coming in, first conference tournament appearance altogether. Payoff pitch, popped up, shallow right. That ball's going to fall in for a base hit. Thomas quickly over to corral it and get it back in, but Atienza has a leadoff single here in the La Tech first.
And that's a great piece of hitting there for Atienza, just on a changeup to stay through the zone long enough just to make it drop in the outfield.
Shelby Nunn's making her 27th start, 44th appearance of the year. 15-14, her record with a 3.64 ERA. 171 innings of work, 104 strikeouts on the year. 286 opponents batting average as the player of the year stands in. Morgan Turkley takes the pitch, low and away for ball number 1.
And Turkley's definitely one of those dual threats. She just ran through the box right there as a slap hitter, but then also can use the long ball, has 4 home runs and 12 doubles on the season.
I just noticed that. She ended up halfway to the circle.
Right.
Here's a chopper towards short. At second, they get one. Vaughn flipping to McElroy for the force out. Fielder's choice. Turkley replaces Atienza there at first base. One gone for Katie Smith. The senior shortstop's hitting .245 on the year, a home run and 22 RBI. This Louisiana Tech ball club not afraid to run on the base paths, 130 stolen bases as a team. Turkley herself, 18 for 22 there at first base.
Yeah, very aggressive team just overall. At the plate, on the bases, on defense, just overall, just a very aggressive team.
First pitch to Smith, missing downstairs for ball number 1.
Louisiana Tech likes to run a lot of action plays, so either hit and run, bunt and run, slap and run, anything of that nature, they like to use to their advantage to try to get the defense out of position.
There's a strike on the outside corner. It's 1-1. We mentioned the .275 average for Louisiana Tech over the course of the year. That's up nearly 10 points. They're hitting .284 in the 24 conference games they played. Here's a chopper again to short. Vaughn will take it to the back herself, throw to first, gets past Bolds. They got a fortunate bounce off the brick wall on the side of this Western Kentucky first base dugout. So another fielder's choice, but that right there may be a throw Vaughn wants back. Could have been an inning double play.
Definitely, and I think very thankful there that the ball didn't go into the dugout, because then Smith would have been awarded second base as well.
Absolutely. So now Sloan Stewartson will get a shot. The designated player made the all-freshman team here at Conference USA in her first season. Pretty solid 367 average. That should get you some postseason honors for sure. 4 homers, 26 RBI. First pitch is in for a strike. Congrats to you, by the way, first team all-conference yourself.
Thank you very much.
24-game grind of Conference USA. Nothing, no game easy.
Definitely
there goes the runner, pitches a ball, throw to second in time. They got her. Katie Smith caught down trying to swipe second to retire the side. 1 hit, nobody left on base. 6 outs complete. Still scoreless here in Charlotte. Back here on the campus of UNC Charlotte, look at one of the many beautiful academic buildings here on campus as we are set to go. Here at the top of the second, Rebecca Engelhart, Kendall Smith, Haley Towers. 5, 6, 7 part of the lineup here to face Presley Galloway. See how Galloway responds. A couple of walks there in the first inning. Chalk it up to nerves, perhaps. But we'll see as Engelhart takes first pitch outside for ball number 1. Engelhart 0 for 3 earlier this afternoon in that opener against Marshall. 270 average, 7 homers, 25 runs driven in. Here's a line shot into right field for a base hit. Jensen with a nice diving attempt at second base, but Engelhart able to hit it hard enough to get it through. Second straight inning the leadoff man's been on for Western Kentucky.
Yeah, great start to the inning for Western Kentucky and Engelhart. And as you can see, Atienza in right field had to put her sunglasses on. This is definitely the time of day where the sun's going to start to be a factor for the right side of the field.
It's been a high sky all afternoon long. That sun back off behind home plate has been brutal throughout the day. As the bunt here goes back to Galloway. He'll flip to first base. Jensen covering the bag. A very nice sacrifice by Kendall Smith. Puts another Hilltopper in scoring position for Haley Towers. Towers 1 for 3. Single and RBI back earlier this afternoon against Marshall. Western Kentucky seems to be picking up right where they left off. Here's a base hit into center field. Crowder quickly getting it in. Stopping at third is Engelhart, and just like that, first and third with 1 out now for McElroy. Well, for not seeing Louisiana Tech during the regular season and getting your first look at Presley Galloway, who was just named the Pitcher of the Year in the conference, Western Kentucky just doesn't seem to care.
Definitely. Western Kentucky's really just looking to attack early in the at bat, and Presley Gallery really likes to get ahead of batters early. So I think those two things are really working out in Western Kentucky's favor right now.
Absolutely, and now with 1 out, a chance for McElroy to get the Hilltoppers on the board. McElroy 1 for 2 back in game 1. Looking at 5th-year head coach Amy Tudor down that third base line. We'll talk to both head coaches coming up in the 4th inning later on this afternoon. First pitch here is in for a strike to McElroy. 0-1. McElroy tried to bunt earlier this afternoon, but ball actually popped up and hit her bat a second time. Was called out for it. Pitch here is upstairs, 1-1.
There you see Presley Galloway trying to get McElroy to chase that rise ball upstairs, and now she's probably going to go, I feel like, outside here trying to get a nice ground ball to her defense.
1-1. There's the bunt shown with the runner breaking from third. Engelhardt trying to come in on the squeeze, but instead it's bunted back and out of play. Now McElroy down a ball and 2 strikes. McElroy, the sophomore, 207 average. Ground ball to third, a quick check of the runner. Now the throw to first in time. Nice play by Simone at third base. Held it for a moment, made sure Engelhardt was staying put before throwing on to first to get out number 2. Towers does go to second on the play.
And as we can see on the replay here, she really checks off her runner at third, makes sure she's not breaking home before she throws the ball over to first. That's great thinking on her part, making sure that the runner is not going to score on a routine ground ball.
First pitch to Kelsey McGuffin, fouled back and out of play. And we saw it earlier, a similar play to third, I believe it was the second game, Middle Tennessee and North Texas. Ground ball to third, a fake throw. Ended up getting a base runner, one of the Mean Green base runners in a rundown between second and third. Here's a little roller over towards third. Simone up with it on to first, but we've got interference called by third base umpire Troy Kuykendall. I believe that's what the call was. I saw him throw his hands up immediately over there at third base. Not quite sure why. I'll see if we can get another look at it, but regardless, that'll give McGuffin a second chance in the box. That would have certainly ended the inning. Here's a chopper over to third. Simone will get another chance. Throws the first in time. If at first you don't succeed, try again. Still scoreless after an inning and a half here in Charlotte. Back at Dockridge Stadium, no scores. We head to the home half of the second. Sean Fox and Haley Pace here. Game 3 of 4 here at Dottridge Stadium as Sloan Stewartson leads it off. She was at the plate when Katie Smith was cut down at second trying to swipe the bag and get a fresh count to start. Ball one here to Stewartson. 367 average, as we were talking about earlier, earning her freshman all-conference honors. There's a strike on the corner, 1-1.
Right, and as if 367 isn't impressive enough, she's actually hitting 476 as a leadoff, so this might work out here in Louisiana Tech's favor.
Pretty good for your cleanup hitter for sure. Here's a pitch in the dirt, 2-1. I referenced earlier about Louisiana Tech being a half game away from not even having to play. They were 4 outs away from winning the regular season title, leading 5-1 on Sunday in El Paso. For UTEP rallied for the win. Here's a soft pop-up to second. McElroy handles it without a problem. 1 gone.
Yeah, good work by McElroy there, fighting the sun to get that easy pop-up.
Louisiana Tech, your defending Conference USA Tournament champions, winning it last year down in Hattiesburg. They have a pair of conference titles under their belt. Won the WAC title in 2008. Not many other places I'd rather be for a conference tournament, but the 2008 tournament in the WAC out in Honolulu.
Oh.
Here's a soft roller up the first baseline, picked up foul by Bolds. Love being here in Charlotte, but I take Honolulu as well.
Hawaii wouldn't be too bad either.
Absolutely. Jaslyn Crowder in from the right side. 278 average, couple of homers, 22 RBI for her third season. Pitch missing there for ball 1-1. La Tech had a decent chance there in the first inning. A couple of fielder's choices and a base runner caught stealing. Outside 2-1. But I think as of now, better judge of this after this bottom of the second, Western Kentucky has been the more aggressive team in the box and had the better opportunities thus far.
Definitely. I think that's also, like I said earlier about Presley Galloway's game plan, is to get ahead early, and it looks like not necessarily has been struggling, but it's been throwing a lot more balls than Galloway has.
Yeah, just having to work more. 3 balls and a strike here on Crowder. Allie Gala is in the on-deck circle to hit next for the Lady Texters. Here's a 3-1. That's on the corner for a strike. 3-2.
And also, Louisiana Tech has multiple players with more than 20 bases on balls, so they are very patient batters as well.
Payoff pitch from Nunn. Smoked to short. Vaughn's got it on to first. She's been making it look easy all day now in both games. 2 gone. Well, Shelby Nunn, the freshman starter inside the circle, playing for her hometown team from right there in Bowling Green, Kentucky. '44th appearance of the year. And we were talking earlier, the transition, as tough as it is from high school to college. First pitch here to Galaz, another chance. Vaughn bobbles this one. The throw this time is too late. First error of the ball game will keep the inning alive for Marilyn Rosado. Tough anytime you go from high school to college. When you make the jump to Division I and Conference USA, it's just that much tougher. And Shelby Nunn been able to hold her own.
Definitely. She's really been able to make an immediate impact here at Western Kentucky. And I think one of the hardest things, especially going from high school to college, is just the scouting reports that everyone knows pretty much what you're throwing, and how the hitters are able to adjust to you as a pitcher. It's definitely a game changer from high school to college.
First pitch to Rosado downstairs for a ball. Not to mention the length of games. The speed of the game itself is much faster. You're playing, Louisiana Tech has 54 games under their belt. Western Kentucky has 53 rather. Much more in-depth travel than high school.
Right, it's definitely a marathon of a season. It also takes a toll on you physically as well as mentally, especially if you, not necessarily pitching, but if you get into a slump or are struggling in one aspect of the game, you need to be able to snap out of that quickly to get ready for the next series that you have that weekend.
Absolutely. 2-0 here to Rosado, in for a strike. Well, just as a hitter can go up and be on a roll and have a beach ball basically coming at you, or a golf ball if you're struggling. Want to welcome those tuning in on the BN Network, our TV audience tuning in here as we play in the bottom of the second. No score. Sean Fox and Haley Pace with you. Western Kentucky got here thanks to a 5-2 victory over Marshall earlier this morning. First game of the day. Louisiana Tech, the 4th seed, getting a bye from the basically first round of games earlier today. But finish our thought with the hitter. The ball can look the size of a beach ball or golf ball. Same for the pitcher, too, when things are going well or going not so well. Here's a pitch outside. It's ball 4. Rosado draws the walk. And now the Lady Texters trying to get a little 2-out rally going here in the second.
Right, and going off your point, sometimes I think you can feel like there's, only the 8 players on the field, and then other times you feel like there's about 30, and your hits won't fall regardless of where you hit it.
Absolutely. Bailey Simone gets a crack at it here. Her first at-bat of the tournament, showing bunt. And misses. Coming up empty, 0-1. Simone, a .231 average in her freshman season. 3 homers, 17 RBI. In here from the right side, a 2-out error, keeping the inning going. Off speed there outside. That was close, 1-1.
Yeah, that was a nice pitch from Nunn. Looked like it just missed the outside corner right there. Great pitcher's pitch.
Activity in the Western Kentucky bullpen down the right field line. Just in case, there's a swing and a miss.
And there's where you see the drop ball from Nunn, just really breaking off the table as it crosses the zone.
Haley Towers in the lineup right now as the designated player. Out here in the bullpen getting loose just in case. Here's a shot towards the gap in left center. McGuffin dives and can't come up with it. It's going to roll all the way to the wall. 2 runs are going to score. The Lady Texters cash in on the 2-out error and score 2 to take a 2-0 lead.
Definitely huge hit for Bailey Simone right there. Great way to pick up her team, especially with 2 outs.
Great effort by McGuffin out there in center field. Both of these runs unearned. Get a look at it. Good swing, belt high.
Yeah, she knew off the bat she hit that ball well, but you saw her, keep her eyes on McGuffin in center field, just hoping she wasn't going to lay out and grab that ball.
Carly Jensen tries to drop a bunt down, but it goes straight to the backstop for strike number 1. And that goes back to what we were talking about earlier. Catch a break. Anyway, take advantage of it. And with the error here in the second inning, Lady Texters have capitalized.
And Carly Jensen, I think, noticed that too on that last hit. Western Kentucky might be a little frazzled. And so she's looking to drop a quick bunt down right there, try to catch the defense off guard.
Jensen hitting .245 in her final season. Outside for a ball, 1-1. No homers, 12 RBI on the year. First extra base hit of the game right there. A big one by Simone. 1-1, a little pop-up down the right field line. That one's going to fall in. Rounding third and scoring is Simone. It's a 2-out, 3-run inning for Louisiana Tech. Now 3-0 Lady Texters.
And as you can see, Carly Jensen really just drops her hands, takes her bat right to the ball. Doesn't try to do too much with this pitch, but is just able to dump it in right field and score that runner from second base.
Bottom of the order coming through for head coach Mark Montgomery here in the second inning. Now the top of the lineup, and Kimmy Atienza will stand in. Atienza dropped a base hit along this right field line back in the first inning. Strike there on the first offering, 0-1.
I'm sure Coach Montgomery is really excited to see that from the bottom of his lineup. Not the most RBIs he has on the team in these bottom 3 hitters, but they've really delivered this inning.
A tough inning for Shelby Nunn. She should be out of the inning. She's done her part. Pitch outside there. Brittany Vaughn with the fielding error in this second inning. Rosado walked. And then the 2-run double by Simone, the RBI single here by Jensen. The 1-1 just fouled on the third base side. Just foul. Plate umpire Anthony Small all over the call, right on top of it. But as we've talked about, hitting's contagious. Louisiana Tech doing it here and now has the top of the order up to try and do the same thing, keep it rolling.
Definitely, and we've seen a couple fly balls from Louisiana Tech, but a lot of what Shelby Dunn's going to do is try to force that ground ball, so she's really going to need her defense to pick her up.
Here's a fly ball deep into right center, going back and making an over-the-shoulder grab is McGuffin to retire the side, but 3 2-out unearned runs gets the Lady Texters on the board. They lead Western Kentucky after 2 innings here in Charlotte. Back here at Dottridge Stadium, 3-0 Louisiana Tech. As we head to the top half of the third, Sean Fox and Haley Pace with you on this early Wednesday evening. Been a gorgeous day for softball here in Charlotte. Going to continue throughout the weekend. And now with the 3 runs of support, let's see if Presley Galloway can take a couple of deep breaths, relax a little bit in the circle. A couple of walks there in the first inning. Had second and third with 1 out in the second, but got a couple of groundouts to third to end that threat.
Definitely. She has a pretty low, walk to inning ratio, so definitely not part of her usual game plan. So we'll see here if she can try to get back on track.
There's a good start. 1 pitch, 1 out on a ground ball to Jensen at second. Can't get much better than that.
Right, and you see Jordan Thomas there just being really aggressive. First pitch, changeup. So I thought it was interesting. She swung at that pitch, but, a great out for Galloway and a great play for Jensen.
This is a shutdown inning for Galloway and Louisiana Tech. Every time you score in your half of the inning, that very next half on defense, you want to keep the opponent off the board. Here's a little pop-up to short, and how about that? 2 pitches, 2 quick outs.
That's the way to do it.
Smith hauling that one in. And if you can hold your opponent scoreless, you keep that momentum in your dugout to where if they come out, Western Kentucky scores, just say 1, they can take some of it away and perhaps give them some more confidence leading the final 5 innings of this ball game. Rosado going out to have a quick chat with Galloway. Brittany Vaughn will stand in. She drew one of those 2 walks back in the first inning. First pitch here, missing outside for a ball. Not sure if Rosado was crossed up on that pitch, unable to squeeze it cleanly. Or?
Yeah, it looks like we might have gotten, mixed up on the sign maybe. Rosado wasn't expecting that pitch. But I thought it was interesting that Rosado called the timeout just because she had gone, 1-2 pitches and 2 outs to try to break the game up that when I feel like the momentum was in your favor.
I feel like if you're a catcher and you're going to get crossed up, better to get crossed up on a changeup than any other pitch in the arsenal. 2-0 here on Vaughn. 318 hitter on the year. Fouls this one back and out of play. 2-1. Vaughn connected for her 8th home run of the year. A 2-run shot in the first inning against Marshall this afternoon. A no-doubter off the batting cages in left field. Galloway's 2-1 is on the corner for a strike. 2-2.
Man, that's a great pitch for Galloway right there. Just the curveball, just hitting that outside corner. Vaughn, like you said, hit that ball over left field, so inside being her real power alley. So Presley Galloway knows that's going to attack that outside.
Here's a roller to third. Simone up with it. High throw, but Gala is able to handle it and come back down on the bag. It's a 7-pitch, 1-2-3 inning for Galloway through 2.5. 3-0 Lady Texers here in Charlotte. Back here in Charlotte, North Carolina, Game 3 of 4 in the 2018 Conference USA Softball Championships. We are off to the bottom of the third, and Western Kentucky going to make a pitching change. Haley Towers, the DP, coming in to pitch in relief of Shelby Nunn. 3 runs, all of them unearned in that second inning. 3 hits, no walks, or 1 walk, I beg your pardon, and no strikeouts to her credit as Towers takes over. Single elimination. Just a struggle of an inning for Nunn. You got to get her out, and perhaps Towers has some better luck.
Yeah, definitely. I think just trying to switch up the pitching just because Louisiana Tech was really able to jump on Shelby Nunn, just changing it up to Haley Towers, seeing if she can give them something different.
And again, it wasn't a whole lot that Nunn did wrong. Should have been a 1-2-3 inning, but then perhaps some frustration getting the best of her. As Towers will face the heart of the order. No easy task, beginning with Conference USA's Player of the Year, Morgan Turkley. Fielder's choice back in the first inning for the Louisiana Tech left fielder. Make sure that's the only change. Towers coming into her 16th appearance, 1-2 with a 4.78 ERA. 41 innings, 35 runs, 28 earned, 23 strikeouts. First pitch to Turkley, missing downstairs for ball number 1. Turkley hitting .414, 4 homers, 26 RBI on the year. I don't care what level you're at. Hitting over 400 is impressive.
Yeah, very impressive. And like we were talking about earlier, she really has just all facets of the game working for her. The short game, the long ball. Just very impressive season from Morgan.
And unfortunately for Conference USA, she's still got 1 more year left. Here's a strike in at the knees, 2-1. Coming up after this half inning, we'll get to chat with both head coaches, Mark Montgomery and Amy Tudor. Change of upstairs, 3-1. We'll start with Lady Texter head coach Mark Montgomery after this half inning is complete. Certainly ask him about that 3-run second inning, and Galloway settling down. There's a walk to Turkley. She's aboard to lead things off. Shortstop Katie Smith to the plate. I don't necessarily think walking Turkley is a bad idea, especially with her average and her capabilities at the plate.
Definitely, I would agree with that. Especially 12 doubles on the season is very impressive. So better her be on first base than second base.
First pitch to Smith downstairs for a ball.
You can see Smith looked like she was going to square around a sac bunt there. So we'll see if they have an action play going on here, maybe a hit and run. Turkley is 18 for 22 in stolen base attempts, so that's always on the table as well.
I was just thinking that. You read my mind with stolen bases. Here's a pitch upstairs, ball 2. With the struggles of Towers right now, let her help you out, and that's exactly why catcher Kendall Smith is going out to the circle to have a talk with her. And as that happens, Kelsey Ike, who through the complete game got the victory against Marshall, has made her way down the right field line to start getting loose for the Hilltoppers. Downstairs, 3-0. Paige Carter has checked into the ballgame for Western Kentucky. She's out in right field. The other change along with Towers. 3-0 downstairs. Ball four, back-to-back walks. Not a good start for Towers. Not what head coach Amy Tudor was looking for.
It's looking like they're going to make another change here. Definitely not what they wanted to see from Towers coming out on 2 bases on balls.
Thomas stays in the game. Moving over to center field, Kelsey McGuffin is the one who has temporarily come out of the ball game. And that looks like that will be all for Towers. And Shelby Nunn will get a breather and come back out to try and pick up where she left off. Again, that second inning, not her fault. She got a pop up to second, a ground out to short, and then another ground ball to Vaughn at short was misplayed for just a split second. And all of a sudden, Louisiana Tech opened up the floodgates and put 3 up on the board. So 2 walks for Towers is all. Nunn going back to the circle. She doesn't need any warm-up tosses. She's good to go.
Definitely tough coming back in the game with runners on first and second with Sloan Stewartson up to bat.
First and second here with nobody out. A chance for Louisiana Tech. Now Nunn will take a couple of tosses. I thought that was odd. She was just going to toe the slab and get right back to work, but might as well. You got a couple of free pitches. Might as well use them.
Right. On this nice warm day. I'm sure she's still warm, but would like a few pitches before she throws to a live batter.
Final game of the night coming your way at 7:30. FIU and Middle Tennessee. Middle Tennessee surviving North Texas in a great 1-0 ball game earlier. As we get back to action, here's a comebacker to the mound. Nunn bobbles it, throws to first, her only play, and is able to get Stewartson just in time for out number 1.
As we can see on the replay, this ball looks like, just really spinning a lot. Nunn wasn't really able to pick it up cleanly, but still able to get the out at first. But, not a bad job there by Stewartson getting those runners in scoring position into second and third base.
And effectively got the job done, too. She moved Smith up to second and Turkley over to third, up 60 feet. Those are runs 4 and 5 for Louisiana Tech here this afternoon. Jaslyn Crowder stands in. Here's a floater down the right field line, but will land foul for strike 1. Interesting is Paige Carter just checked into the ballgame. She's got the glasses on in right field. She's got her right hand up, shading the sun, but no cap on.
Yeah, she might want to grab a visor when she comes back out for the next inning. The sun in right field is just killer at this time of the day.
Matter of fact, I look around, McElroy at second is the only one that has anything on. Yeah, I'm with you. We've seen struggles throughout the first couple of games with the sun. Just going to get worse as the night goes on.
Right.
Here's a line shot through the hole into right field. 1 run scores. The throw to the plate, not in time. Throw down to second, now ends up in shallow center field. Stopping at third is Crowder. 5-0 Lady Texters.
Really just a few mental mistakes here after the ball gets thrown from right field. The ball got away from McElroy at second.
And we'll see there. Yeah, nice diving attempt by McElroy. And that error there, that might be on Vaughn there at shortstop. That looked like she should have caught the ball.
Looked like she was trying to make the tag before the ball even got to second base.
Here's a bunt. That's going to get another run in. Galaz gets the RBI. Back-to-back 3-run innings. And it's a 6-0 lead for the Lady Texters.
Yeah, just a perfectly executed bunt there. Was able to get Crowder in from third base. Just couldn't ask for much more from Galaz at that point.
Here comes Marilyn Rosado going after the first pitch and coming up empty for strike number 1. Again, was going to say another error by Western Kentucky. Their second, leading to another run. Chopper foul, third base side, 0-2.
And with it being 6-0 and only the third inning, we can see FIU's going out to warm up. The run rule could be in effect here, 8 runs after 5 innings. So that's definitely something that Western Kentucky should be concerned about going forward in this game.
There's a 0-2 missing outside, 1-2. Couple of walks by Haley Towers, who started the inning. None coming right back in. Tapper foul off to the left.
That was a nice job by Risotto just to foul that pitch off and just stay alive at this at-bat.
3 runs nevertheless. Tournament time, you don't care how you get them. Just get them. Here's a pitch downstairs, 2-2. The uphill climb for Western Kentucky getting steeper and steeper. Two-two pitch, left side, backhanded in the hole by Vaughn. Throw to first, not in time. Tough play in the hole, but Rosado is aboard.
As you can see, Rosado's just hustling her hardest just to try to beat out that ball. It was bobbled just a little bit by Brittany Vaughn, but really she just did a great job to stop that ball and keep it in the infield.
Infield single for Rosado. Bailey Simone stepping in. She got all of the scoring action going with her 2-out, 2-run double an inning ago. Here's a fly ball out into left. Vorbrink is there. She's got it. And that will retire the side. 3 runs, 2 hits, adding on to the lead. Lady Texter is up by 6 over Western Kentucky. We can try again. Back here at Dottridge Stadium, 6-0 our score as we head to the top of the 4th. Back-to-back 3-run frames for Louisiana Tech. We'll try and catch up with head coach Mark Montgomery. Slight technical issue, but we'll try and work him in. Talk to Western Kentucky head coach Amy Tudor after this half inning. Jordan Vorbrink ready to lead things off. Western Kentucky has to get to work. 4-5-6 part of the lineup here against Presley Galloway.
And I'm sure Galloway's feeling a lot more confident and probably a little more comfortable going in with the 6-run lead in the 4th inning. We saw our nerves get the best for a little bit in the 1st inning, but was able to get out of that without giving up any runs.
Vorbrink 0 for 1, grounded into an inning-ending double play back in the 1st. Here's a line shot into left. Turkley is there, 1 gone. Western Kentucky still staying aggressive at the plate, making solid contact. That was a hard-hit ball. But Turkley right there to make the grab.
Definitely, that was a loud out right there. Definitely something to remember next time when she comes up to bat. If Western Kentucky can just string together some of those hard hits, eventually they'll fall.
Here's a swing and a miss by Englehart. Base hit to right, back in the second. Couple of hits for Western Kentucky. They had the leadoff man on in the first and second, but couldn't do anything with it. Here's a bunt now. Galloway picks it up and a snap throw to first just in time. Englehart trying to make anything happen, but it just results in out number 2.
There we can see it just a little bit too hard right back to Galloway. She's able to field that quickly and get it to first base before Englehart's able to get there.
Kendall Smith, the catcher, going to tie her shoe and then step into the box. She did have a successful sacrifice bunt back in the second. That was after Englehart singled to right. Here's a first pitch strike from Galloway, 0-1, and it certainly looks like Galloway is relaxed and back to her normal self. Any nerves, anything like that, and of course a 6-run lead always helps get you back to normal.
Yeah, definitely like she's settling in there, really just going to her curveballs, which is really her money pitch.
Downstairs, a ball and a strike. Smith hitting .229, 5 homers, 21 RBI. Downstairs, close pitch, 2-1. Smith trying to avoid the second straight 1-2-3 inning. Here's a little fly ball out into right. It's going to fall in front of Atienza. It's a 2-out single, which keeps the inning alive here for Western Kentucky.
And sometimes that's all it takes, just a nice smooth swing through, drop a ball in. Just trying to get something going here for the Hilltoppers.
Time called here. Amy Tudor in her 5th season going to have a little powwow right here in front of her third base dugouts. Haley Towers, the designated player, due up here for Western Kentucky. 6 runs, 5 hits for Louisiana Tech. No runs, 3 hits. More importantly, 2 errors by the Hilltoppers.
And those timeouts are something I've really noticed a lot with Amy Tudor and her team. She likes to just really refocus the group that's going to be involved in the next play or the next hit, just to kind of get them on the same page.
Well, she was talking with Smith, who's aboard, and now Towers at the plate, but she was also shouting some instructions into that first base dugout as well.
Yeah, very vocal coach. Really keeps her players involved.
Here's another floater that falls in. On her way to third, throws cut off. Now we're going to have a rundown in between first and second with Towers. How about a snap throw to third?
And the umpire is actually going to signal obstruction on that play as well.
I saw him stick his left arm out, and that's exactly the call. Head coach Mark Montgomery thinking about coming out to have a chat. Plate umpire Anthony Small was the one who made his way down for the play there at third base. So it's going to be second and third on the base hit by Towers. Towers awfully fortunate she didn't run herself into that third out.
Definitely.
There's a snap throw. Yeah, you can see that's exactly what it was. Simone was just about blocking the third base bag.
And that's really been a hot topic here. NCAA softball is the new obstruction rules. And so I think we've seen a lot more obstruction calls this year than we have in the past.
And now Mark Montgomery does want to have a chat with plate umpire Anthony Small, who made the call. And this is how Louisiana Tech got their 3-run second inning going with a little 2-out rally. Now a chance for Western Kentucky to do the same as Morgan McElroy will stand in.
Right, it would be really big right here for Western Kentucky to score at least 1 run in this situation.
Here's a chopper back up the middle. Jensen from second base makes the throw to retire the side. So the threat extinguished. 2 hits, 2 runners left on base. Bottom of the 4th coming up. Louisiana Tech on top, 6-0. Back here at Dottridge Stadium, 6-0 Louisiana Tech as we go to the bottom of the fourth inning. Going to head down to the field and chat with Western Kentucky head coach Amy Tudor. Coach, a tough error there in the second inning, and then the floodgates kind of opened up.
Yeah, they put together a couple timely hits, and we had some mishaps on defense, and it, bit us in the rear end a little bit.
What can you do on offense here? Your 3 at-bats remaining to try and get back in this.
Yeah, we keep on getting runners on. We just haven't had that timely hit to push them across. I think we still got to get kids on and then hit a hard shot. She's been doing a good job of keeping the ball low, and we're hitting ground balls. We need to get something a little bit in the air.
All right, Coach. Appreciate the time. Good luck rest of the way.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
That's head coach Amy Tudor in her 5th year with Western Kentucky. Tough spot. This could very easily still be a scoreless game, but a couple of miscues on defense has her Hilltoppers in a 6-0 hole. Carly Jensen going to lead things off. First pitch, a little tapper to the left. Engelhardt makes the play in time. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the 4th.
Great pitch by Shelby Nunn right there to get her to chase that outside drop ball. Did exactly what she wanted to do, ground it out to the left side of the infield.
Top of the lineup, Kimmy Atienza will stand in. Her 3rd at-bat already as we play here in the 4th inning. Base hit to right, a fly out to center. 1 for 2 afternoon so far. First pitch from Nunn going after. Louisiana Tech staying aggressive. They don't care it's a 6-0 lead. They want to try and tack on a couple more runs and perhaps bring this 8-run rule into play.
They definitely are staying aggressive, and great job, though, by Shelby Nunn just to keep that ball on the plate. You can see her draw balls just really falling off the table today.
Here's a bouncer up the middle. Vaughn from behind the second base bag, not in time. The speed of Atienza beating it out for the infield single.
Brittany Vaughn had a great read on that ball, really did all she could, got rid of it quickly, but it was just a hit up the middle, and with this hard infield, we're getting a lot of big hops today, and Atienza just able to use her speed to leg out an infield single.
Her second hit of the day will bring up Morgan Turkley. Walked and scored in her last at-bat in the 3rd. First pitch upstairs for a ball. That was one of 2 batters faced by Haley Towers. Towers very careful as to how she pitched Turkley back there in that 3rd inning. Against Nunn back in the 1st, a ground ball to short on a fielder's choice. Off speed here, catches the corner for a strike. It's 1-1. Turkley, Katie Smith in the on-deck circle, hoping to hit next. Western Kentucky needs to do everything they can to keep this a scoreless frame. Right. Here's a strike. Turkley didn't like the call, thought it was up and perhaps in as well.
Right, 2 very dangerous hitters coming back-to-back here for Shelby Nunn and the Hilltoppers here.
Turkley, a .414 average we were talking about in her other at-bat back in the 3rd. Boy, that was a close pitch,
That was a great pitch by Nunn.
2 balls and 2 strikes.
A little too close to take there, in my opinion, by Turkley.
2-2 on its way here from Nunn. Popped up with the runner going out of play. Atienza broke away from the first base bag, but retreats with a count still at 2-2. One down, bottom of the 4th. Louisiana Tech with the 6-run advantage.
And that's what we saw from Atienza moving on that pitch, just trying to see if the defenders will jump out of position, maybe more likely to make a mistake.
Another 2-strike pitch fouled off out of play. Still 2-2 here on Turkley. 12 doubles on the year to go along with her 4 home runs. 63 total hits. Takes a pitch upstairs. That's a tough pitch to lay off, too, because that was similar to the strike called earlier in this at-bat.
Definitely. I think that would probably be going through Morgan Turkley's mind here, thinking that you got strike 2 called on you at that same height.
Another foul ball off to the left with the full count. Despite only 1 out, Atienza off and running again.
Louisiana Tech is not afraid to put runners in motion, that is for sure.
Turkley with a career-high 4-hit outing against UTEP over the weekend in El Paso. Little liner just foul, third base side. Atienza again retreats back to first. We'll do it again. Boy, for a team that finished the regular season in El Paso, Texas, which is, for argument's sake, basically in California, and having to fly back across to Charlotte, losing 2 hours, no signs of it here. A line shot to short. Vaughn's going to throw to first, and they're going to double off Atienza. Great play by the shortstop. A heads-up play to retire the side. We're off to the bottom of the fifth. Top of the sixth, rather. No score. Back here at Doppler Stadium in Charlotte, 6-0 our score. The Lady Texters on top. We'll head down to the field, have a quick chat with head coach Mark Montgomery. Coach, boy, for a team that finished the regular season in El Paso and flying across country back here to Charlotte, pretty good start for your first tournament game.
Well, we're doing well so far. A lot of games still left, so let's hope we can keep it up, but I'm proud of them thus far.
What do you like from Galloway inside the circle so far?
Well, she's such a competitor. She always works so hard and gets after it, and you know, got us a couple big pitches in a couple spots where they could have done a little damage, and then kept it to the score it is. So I'm proud of her, and she's gonna keep battling the whole game.
Thanks for the time, Coach. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you very much.
Here's head coach Mark Montgomery in his 6th season with Louisiana Tech. He knows it's tournament time. He knows the level of play here in the conference tournament. You heard him. Despite the 6-0 lead, still a lot of game left. As fly ball first here into center off the bat of Paige Carter, who came in for McGuffin earlier. He is retired by Crowder for out number 1. That'll bring us back to the top of the lineup. Jordan Thomas. Thomas with a walk back in the first and a ground out to second in the third. There's a strike on the corner, 0-1.
And I think it's interesting, Coach Montgomery mentioned a lot of game left. I think he also knows that this Western Kentucky team, they don't give up, and they're going to stay aggressive throughout the whole game.
I can promise you he was here in that first game scouting Western Kentucky and Marshall as well. Here's a line shot out of play off to the left. Especially with Louisiana Tech not playing any team on their side of the bracket. Western Kentucky, Marshall, or even perhaps top-seeded Florida Atlantic tomorrow, who the winner of this game will face. 0-2 is low and away. Ball and 2 strikes here on Thomas. Member of Conference USA's all-freshman team after a .323 average starting her collegiate career. 6 homers, 27 RBI. Off speed there, misses upstairs. 2-2.
What also jumps out to me for Jordan Thomas is her 16 doubles, and I think 40 base on balls now is really great to be able to jump in as a freshman and be able to contribute, be the leadoff batter for Western Kentucky. Very impressive.
2-2 here, misses. Full count, 3-2. I think it's interesting with Coach Montgomery talking about still plenty of game left. He's got a 6-0 lead, and he's got a couple of pitchers out in that bullpen along the left field line warming up.
Right, I think if they could save Presley Galloway's arm a little bit, they would feel probably confident going in to tomorrow if they win this game tonight.
That was exactly my same thought, too, as Thomas swings at the 3-2 pitch and comes up empty. First strikeout for Galloway. Got a chuckle out of it, saying plenty of game left. You're up 6-0, but we're going to warm up a couple of pitchers to give Galloway a break, which is no doubt the thought, and try to save some time for tomorrow if this trend continues. First pitch to Bowles, misses downstairs for ball number 1. Bowles 0 for 2, fly out to left and a pop up to short.
And it also could give their other pitchers some playing time in a conference game, just to give them that, or a conference tournament game rather, to give them that experience later on in the tournament.
Nice grab by Jensen at second base to work a 1-2-3 inning. Nothing doing for Western Kentucky. Still 6-0 La Tech after 4.5. Back here in Charlotte, North Carolina, site of the 2018 Conference USA Softball Championships. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Louisiana Tech with a 6-0 lead over the Hilltoppers of Western Kentucky. Sean Fox and Haley Pace here. Glad you're with us on this Wednesday early evening. Katie Smith going to lead things off for the Lady Techsters. Taking the first pitch on the inside corner for a strike, 0-1. Smith with a fielder's choice back in the first. A walk and run scored in the third. Back-to-back 3-run innings for the Lady Techsters. Ground ball to the left. Another chance for Vaughn at short. One gone. Vaughn has been fantastic at shortstop. But on the flip side, unfortunately, she was the one that made the 2-out error in the second inning. And Louisiana Tech took advantage, scoring their first 3 of those 6. Sloan Stewartson, the designated player, going to stand in from the right side. Here's a liner foul, first base side. Diving is Bowles, nearly came up with it. But instead it results in strike 1. So far, our perch here down the first baseline been spared of any major line drive foul ball. Here's a chopper foul at the plate. Came up and got a piece of Stewartson. Down in the count, 0-2. Jaslyn Crowder to follow. 6 runs on 6 hits for Louisiana Tech. Only 3 of the 6 runs earned, as the 2-strike pitch misses outside for ball number 1. Louisiana Tech trying to defend their tournament crown from a year ago. Here's a liner into center. A little jump in the air for Thomas, who's there to haul it in for out number 2. That ball was hit pretty well by Stewartson, too.
Definitely some solid contact by Stewartson there, just right at someone.
That's got to be frustrating as a hitter when you make solid contact like that, smoke it somewhere, but it's literally right to somebody on defense.
Extremely frustrating, and then someone else later in the lineup just dumps a little ball into right field.
Here's a smoked shot as we speak down the left field line. Rounding first, heading for second is Crowder. The throw not in time. It's a 2-out double. The inning continues now for Allie Galaz.
And I thought that was a great job by Vorbrink to have the mindset to dive after that ball, not let it get all the way to the line. I think with anyone other than Crowder at that point, you would have had her thrown out at second base, but with Crowder's speed, she was able to make it there.
And you saw Crowder right there, right out of the box, going out of the gate and is in scoring position for Galaz. First pitch outside for ball number 1. Galaz is the one that reached on the error by Vaughn in the second, ended up scoring one of those 3 runs. Had an RBI with her bunt back in the third on the sacrifice, a squeeze on. Here's a slow roller to the left. Vaughn up with it and on to first in time to retire the side. No runs, 1 hit. No errors and a runner left on base. We're through 5 innings, still 6-0 Louisiana Tech as we get set to go. Here's the replay, the close play there at first, but Vaughn equal to the task and make the play. Well, as we go to the 6th inning, Haley, I'll ask you this. You're on Western Kentucky's roster. You're down 6-0, down to your final 6 outs. What are you going to try and do on offense to get anything going?
Right, I think that Western Kentucky really just has to stay aggressive here, whether it's going to be, a bunt single, anything to kind of make something happen here for your team. I think that they do that very well. I think that they're going to, they're looking to put up a fight here, but I think it's definitely doable for their team and their style of play.
Western Kentucky, through 5 innings, the 5 runners on the base paths. They're 2 for 7 with runners on. 286 average, not bad, but a 6-0 deficit. Of course, a couple of errors haven't helped you out either. And just 1 for 5 with runners in scoring position, so certainly needing to take advantage of those situations and just haven't done so yet. Not what they did back in game number 1.
Right, I think you saw a lot more execution, I think, in the first game for them. Something that they're not used to seeing, not executing, I feel like, with runners in scoring position, but something they can look to capitalize here in the last 2 innings and really to keep their season alive.
Here's a look at Suam Daughtridge Stadium here in Charlotte. I look into the Western Kentucky dugout. They know the task ahead, down 6-0. Got to score 6 runs before Louisiana Tech records 6 outs. And keep in mind, with the 6-0 score, if Louisiana Tech were to score 2 runs in the bottom half of the inning, then the ball game would be over. So no guarantee there's 6 outs left for Western Kentucky. As Marilyn Rosado going to lead things off, Brittany Vaughn leading things off for Western Kentucky. Staying aggressive there, going after the first pitch and coming up empty, 0-1.
Definitely a good pitch right there for Galloway to work up in the zone. Not something Brittany Vaughn really wants to hit there in this situation.
I was going to say there's a difference between aggressive and being too aggressive.
Right. I think she may be feeling a little bit of the burden here too.
There's a fly ball to left. Turkley able to backtrack and grab, shy of the track for out number 1. Got to get some base runners, got to come up with an extra base hit of some sort, perhaps a long ball. But you're going to need some teammates to do that, because obviously you can't go up there and hit a 6-run homer to tie it.
Right, that's not possible, but I definitely feel like these players just probably should, just need to relax. Obviously, there's going to be pressure in these situations, but like you said, you can't hit a 6-run home run, and you can't feel all of the burden of the 6-run deficit on your shoulders.
Jordan Verbrink standing in. Double play ball hit into in the first, a line out to Turkley and left back in the 4th. Pitch inside here. And some of the frustrating part for Western Kentucky has to be the success they had just 6 hours ago, beating Marshall 5-2.
Right, they came out extremely hot in that game, just really at top of the first inning, scoring 2 runs off of the Brittany Vaughn home run. So just to see kind of the opposite situation here in this game has got to be aggravating.
Vorbrink now down on the count here at a ball and 2 strikes. Rebecca Englehart to follow. Presley Galloway, after she's had 3 shaky innings, gets a strikeout here. Oh, nope, I take that back. Strike 2. Got ahead of myself there, trying to speed things up on my own. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count. Just the 1 strikeout for Galloway so far. Here's a ground ball over to second. Jensen up with it in plenty of time to first. 2 gone.
And that's a pitch we really haven't seen very much from Galloway, was the changeup. As you can see, just off speed, but really has been effective today in getting just ground outs or easy pop flies for her team.
Rosado going out to the mound to have a chat here with Galloway. She had runners at first and second with 1 out in the first and got the double play ball to get out of that inning. She had second and third, 1 out in the second inning, and was able to get herself, wiggle her way out of that jam. 1, 2, 3 in the third. Second and third with 2 outs as Western Kentucky tried to get a little 2-out rally going in the fourth, but got out of that one. So not as solid of a day as Galloway would hope, but still very effective in holding a 6-0 lead.
That's what I was going to say. Just being effective in pressure situations is really what you're looking for in postseason play. So I think that's really a positive for Louisiana Tech, and I'm sure that they'll be relying on her to perform under pressure as the week goes on.
Yeah, she's pitcher of the year in Conference USA for a reason. Pitch downstairs 2-0. And they're certainly going to rely on Galloway if they're going to make noise and try and defend their conference title from a year ago. Galloway is going to be the one in the circle to help get them there. Right,
she's their ace, and she knows that, and I think she steps out there with the confidence that her team has in her. So that's what really Louisiana Tech's gonna keep looking for.
Floater into left, diving is Crowder. She can't squeeze it cleanly. She had it in her glove for a moment, but it's a 2-out base hit for Englehart, her second of the day. It keeps this 6th inning alive.
And Englehart makes great contact with this ball. I think really crossing her fingers that Crowder doesn't catch this ball on the dive.
Kendall Smith will stand in. Sacrifice bunt back in the second. A fly out to right in the fourth. 5th hit of the day for Western Kentucky there with Englehart's second.
And a big 2-out hit for Englehart right there just to keep the inning going, not have another shutdown inning for Louisiana Tech. So it'll be big here to see if Smith can capitalize on Englehart extending the inning.
Western Kentucky needs to get 1 more aboard to assure themselves at least Jordan Thomas at the top of the lineup can get a 7th inning at bat. 1-0 is outside here, 2-0 as Rosado goes out to have a chat with Galloway again quickly. Haley Towers, the DP in the on-deck circle. She's 2 for 2. She's got a couple of hits, so she's seeing the ball well here in this second game of the day for the Hilltoppers. Certainly like to get her up with a couple of runners aboard. The 2-0s popped up out of play, 2-1.
It's a good pitch by Galloway. I don't think that's really the best situation for Smith to be swinging 2-0 right there after she was a little shaken up. But hopefully she can look to bounce back here.
Yeah, 2-0 pitch. Hitters count, green light, just enough up in the zone where Galloway got away with it. Here's a pitch in the dirt. It trickles away momentarily by Rosado. She has to kind of crawl to her left about 10 feet or so.
Yeah, I think Englehart's wishing she would have taken off to second on that ball.
She started to, but then she stopped and then tried to start again, and by then Rosado had already gotten to it. 3 balls and a strike. Hitters count again here for Smith. Here's a line shot to the gap in left center field. That gets down and is going to roll all the way to the wall. Rounding third is Englehart. She will score on the RBI double by Smith. Western Kentucky's on the board. It's a 6-1 ball game here in the 6th inning.
Great contact by Smith. She's really working that left center field power alley. Nice to see that Western Kentucky, really trying to stay in this ball game right here.
So a little 2-out rally here in progress by Western Kentucky. As a chat inside the circle going on now for Louisiana Tech. We mentioned earlier the 3 innings that Galloway, somewhat fortunate she got out of those without giving up a single run. And now here, 2-out single by Englehart and the double to left center by Smith. Gets Western Kentucky on the board, perhaps a little momentum. Another couple of hits here or there. You may at least be able to cut this lead in half and give yourself a respectable shot there in the 7th inning.
Right, and like you mentioned, Towers being 2 for 2 on the day. I think the assistant coach just came out trying to break up that momentum for Western Kentucky at that point. The momentum was definitely in their favor, especially after that double.
6 hits now for the Hilltoppers. One shy of their 7 they had earlier against Marshall. But here comes Towers. Single to center back in the 2nd. Single to right back in the 4th. First pitch outside. Snap throw to 2nd. And Smith just able to get back in under the tag of Jensen.
Definitely need to stay on your toes out there with Rosado behind the plate. Likes to pick off and likes to try to keep you off balance.
Towers coming in hitting .250. Just 5 for 20 entering this ball game with a couple of hits. Now has the count in her favor, 2-0 after that offering misses low. .67 pitches for Galloway. As the 2-0 is in for a strike, 2-1. 6 runs, 7 hits for Louisiana Tech. 1 run, 6 hits for Western Kentucky. It's been the 2 errors on defense. That's cost them 3 unearned runs. Here's a little floater out into right. Atienza charging in, makes the grab to retire the side, but the Hilltoppers get on the board with the 2-out RBI double by Smith. We're off to the bottom of the 6th. 6-1 Lady Texters. How about Robert and Mary of Hay Stadium? That again?
That's College of Health.
College of Health and Human Services. College of Health. Back here at Dottridge Stadium, there's a look at the College of Health and Human Services building here on the campus of UNC Charlotte. 6-1 our scores. We head to the home half of the 6th. Louisiana Tech will try and add on to their lead here. Rosado, Simone, and Jensen. Bottom 3rd of the order for the Lady Texers. Due up, but head coach Mark Montgomery is going to meet with plate umpire Anthony Small right here. And it looks like Bailey Callop has a bat and will hit here for Rosado. So Berkeley Callop will dig in from the right side. Callop 9 for 57 at the plate through 34 games, 158 average, so a chance for her to get in, perhaps shake off some nerves of a tournament at bat.
Right, definitely a great opportunity to get some other hitters, some experience in this conference tournament today, especially looking with like a comfortable 5-run lead here.
Well, especially you never know later in this tournament who you may need off the bench in any given situation. 1-0 pitch in for a strike. Counts at 1-1. Shelby Nunn, since coming back, she got basically a 2-batter breather to start the bottom of the 3rd. Been pretty good, pretty solid. Here's a little floater down the right field line. That's foul for a strike, 1-2. Again, she should have been out of that 2nd inning with a 1-2-3 frame, but the ground ball to Brittany Vaughn kept the inning alive. Then it went walk 2-run double, RBI single, and just like that, all the momentum in that third base dugout for the Lady Texters.
Right, and really unfortunate, honestly, for Brittany Vaughn. She's made a lot of great plays today and has really been solid for the Hilltoppers at short.
Here's a diving play at second. McElroy nearly completing the fantastic play to get the first out, but instead Callip has a pinch hit infield single. Bailey Simone to the plate. Simone with that 2-run RBI double in the second, capitalizing on the error and walk issued by none. That run scored by Western Kentucky gets the deficit down to 5, which is important for the 8-run rule in college softball. Team up 8 runs after 5 innings. That usually does it. That's the end of the ball game. Callip in for, or excuse me, Simone for her third at-bat takes first pitch outside as Callip is aboard over at first base after that leadoff single. .0 is in the dirt, 2-0. Louisiana Tech 3 for 10 in the ball game with runners on. 3 for 5 when they're in scoring position. That's a 600 average. 2-0 from Nunn. Lifted foul down the left field line. Looks like members of the FIU Panthers and Middle Tennessee Blue Raiders down that left field line. Some batting practice going on. A couple of them had scatter right there on the foul ball. That's our 4th and final game of the day coming up after this one. Here's a pop-up, foul territory, third base side, but that one's off at the top of the dugout and out of play, 2-2.
Yeah, Shelby Nunn's done a great job this about working the count back to her favor. She was down 2-0 and got Simone to foul off 2 balls.
Nobody out here in the 6th. Callip aboard after her leadoff single. Another pitch in the dirt. So full count now, 3-2. Let's see if Callip takes off here on the full count. You're up by 5. You can afford to be aggressive on the base paths. Louisiana Tech has been that way all season long. Here's a chopper to third, pulled down by Englehart. She goes to second for 1. Throw to first, not in time. Nice job by the Western Kentucky third baseman to just bring that ball down and get the lead runner at second base.
Right, getting the lead runner really huge in this situation. See, the ball gets a big hop right in front of home plate, very hard over there, so Englehart knows that she has the play at second base, trying to keep those runners out of scoring position, but since it had such a high hop, didn't have really the opportunity for a double play.
Yeah, hard to do that. We've seen the big bounce all day long here at Doddridge Stadium. We'll see it throughout the weekend. Certain teams can use that to their advantage.
No, we've seen a few infield singles here today that have been aided by the high hop.
First pitch here to Carly Jensen, missing for a ball. Middle Tennessee did that several times, ended up pulling out the 1-0 victory over North Texas in the process.
Yeah, especially teams with slappers and like to use that speed game, really able to use it to their advantage here at Sue Doddridge Stadium.
Marshall, they're 8, 9, and 1 hitters, all slappers. They had 3 in a row. Tried to take advantage, but couldn't come up with the key hit when they needed, as the 2-0 pitch misses here, 3-0.
They did. Marshall is really, really well known for their speed and just their aggressive base running. So being Western Kentucky able to shut that down today, really I think was a confidence booster for them going into this Louisiana Tech game.
3-0 is outside, ball 4. So it's first and second now. Top of the lineup, and Kimmy Atienza coming up for the Lady Texters. As we talked about earlier, as Coach Montgomery calls timeout, may see a runner at second base, and we will. Looks like Kaylee Anderson coming off the bench to run there at second base. But all the teams got practice time here at Doddridge Stadium yesterday afternoon, Western Kentucky and Louisiana Tech, I both played here during the regular season.
That's what I was going to mention
yeah.
as well, as they both played a series here this season. So, very familiar with how the field plays, everything about the Charlotte Softball Stadium.
Here's a first pitch strike into Atienza.
I will mention Louisiana Tech series was rather rainy, so I think the field was much softer than it's playing today.
And it's just going to get hotter as the weekend goes on here in Charlotte. Luckily, no rain in the forecast. Here's a pop-up foul territory third base side, and it short hops the wall over there off of the CUSA banner. 0-2. Supposed to be in the low 90s by the time we get to Friday and Saturday here in Charlotte, after what's been an odd first few months here, 2018.
Yes, a very cold spring season this year, so just thankful for some warm weather here in Charlotte.
0-2 is outside. It's 1-2. Atienza hitting .294 with 3 homers and 10 RBI on the year. Louisiana Tech trying to get the run back that Western Kentucky put on the board in the top of the 6th. 1-2 is lifted out into shallow left. Vorbrink calling off Vaughn to make the grab. Certainly the right play with the left fielder coming in. 2 gone. Well, here comes Morgan Turkley, the left fielder, player of the year in Conference USA. 0 for 2, does have a walk-in run scored back in the 3rd inning. Turkley with a chance here to end it with 1 swing. A 3-run homer would end this ballgame in the 6th inning. Here's a floater down the left field line, but that one's going to fall onto the warning track and out of play. 0-1.
I think Turkley hit 2 home runs against Charlotte when she played here during that series over the right field wall, so definitely would be looking for that right here for Louisiana Tech.
Turkley coming in hitting .414. Nunn's done a pretty good job of keeping her quiet thus far. And here's a tapper back to the mound to push her to an 0 for 3 day to retire the side. A hit, 2 runners left on. Western Kentucky down by 5 and down to their final 3 outs when we come back. Back here in Charlotte, top of the 7th, Louisiana Tech with a 6-1 lead. Last chance for the Hilltoppers. They need 5 to keep this ball game alive. And Presley Galloway going to take the 7th inning off. She's going to turn things over to the lefty, Crystal De La Cruz. De La Cruz 4-9 on the year with a 3.84 ERA. 73 innings of work. 51 runs, 72 hits at a hit per inning, 33 walks, 27 strikeouts. But again, this inning, probably more than anything, is to just get De La Cruz that 1 inning of tournament experience, shake off some nerves so she can be ready to go for the rest of the weekend.
Definitely, and like you talked about, all of their the travel that they've had the past week, just to try to get her in the game right here would be big for Louisiana Tech. And also, she's going to work opposite of Presley Galloway. She's going to work mostly lower in the zone, whereas Galloway had the rise ball. She's mainly going to throw a drop.
Ball here to McElroy. 0 for 2, couple of ground outs, 1 to third, 1 to second. Take that back. This is Stowers pinch hitting for Western Kentucky, fouling this one off at the plate. Tommy Stowers, 10 for 59 at the plate during this 2018 season. One on the corner for a strike. It's 1-2. Well, great start to the tournament for Western Kentucky with that 5-2 victory over Marshall. Here's a chopper over to first. Nice leaping grab by Galash. She comes right down on the bag. One gone. Boy, when you have some luck on your side and everything's just going well.
Right, great play by Galaz here, and she jumps up, grabs the ball, and doesn't even realize she jumps on first base when she comes down. But just a big play for her right there, and for De La Cruz for her first out.
Paige Carter standing in, takes the first pitch in for a strike. Nope, time called. An illegal pitch here called on De La Cruz.
So it appears that they keep calling that's her second illegal pitch of this inning. It looks like her back foot is coming off the rubber when she's starting her pitch. Both feet have to stay in contact with the rubber until you start your pitch.
That takes a strike off the board and turns it into a ball. So 1-0 here on Carter. Here's a chopper foul at the plate. Counts here at a ball and a strike. I'm not sure, obviously, if De La Cruz does that throughout the year, but it could be nerves. It could be something, I assume, fairly simple, but I've never been out there. Pitches up and away, 2-1.
Right. Some pitchers start with their foot kind of just toeing the back of the rubber, and some actually start with their full foot on the back. So I think it just depends on whatever De La Cruz is more comfortable with, but I think it's just something that, her foot just is slowly working back and off.
Ground ball left side, deflected off the glove of Simone. Carter reaches with one out here in the seventh. And that with bringing in De La Cruz with the illegal pitches with Coach Montgomery, better to do it now with a 5-run lead. You're 3 outs away from a victory, as opposed to, say, Galloway running into problems and her coming in with runners on, a tight game, etc.
Right, and the illegal pitch also hasn't been as much of a deficit, I feel like, this year, because it used to be an illegal pitch when you throw it, the runner would advance, and that's no longer the case here in softball.
Here's a first pitch to Jordan Thomas. Top of the lineup up. Infield single for Carter, by the way. 7th hit of the game for Western Kentucky. Thomas 0 for 2 with the walk. Struck out in her last at-bat. Pop-up foul, third base side. Count here at 1-1. Thomas had the 2-run homer back in the first inning against Marshall this afternoon. And what a difference about 5.5, 6 hours can make. Off speed, just missed outside. 2-1.
All of these teams are used to playing 2 games in one day because of the doubleheaders that the conference plays, but not used to having that game break, which
right.
could definitely kill some of the momentum that they had in that first game.
Fouled back on the 2-1 pitch. That's a good point. I thought of that earlier when talking about it. May have even been during their first game, but you're used to 30, 45 minutes in between games. And you're not used to playing maybe very beginning of the year when you play in some of those invitationals.
Right, and definitely as a hitter, I feel like you stay warm and you stay kind of mentally in the game rather than taking that game break off. You can warm up again and everything, but it's still nothing like going straight from game to game.
2-2 pitch is upstairs, full count. 3-2 now. You're in the top part of the lineup. Make a couple of things happen. Western Kentucky can give themselves a shot, but strike 3 is called. Thomas caught looking on strikes. Western Kentucky now down to their final out here in the 2018 Conference USA Tournament. That looked like a great pitch from De La Cruz on the outside. part of the plate.
It did, and definitely not what Thomas wanted to do right there, or what her team needed for the momentum for the game.
Perhaps looking for something else.
Right, now it's her first at bat off of De La Cruz, so really not quite sure, what pitch sequence she was going to go with there. Just kind of kept her off her toes.
Well, after the 2-run homer earlier, Thomas has had a tough go of it here in the second game. 0 for 3 now with 2 strikeouts. Matter of fact, the only 2 strikeouts up and down the Western Kentucky lineup, unfortunately, to Thomas. Maddie Bold stands in, takes the first pitch strike.
And like we mentioned earlier, she is a freshman, so that could be some of the inexperience coming into play right there.
0-1 pitch kind of waves after it and comes up empty. And now Louisiana Tech 1 strike away from a 2 o'clock appointment with top-seeded Florida Atlantic tomorrow afternoon. Here's the 0-2 from De La Cruz. Snap throw to first, not in time. Carter just able to get her hand in. Boy, got a great view of that here just above the first baseline.
Yeah, that's a great throw by Rosado, especially being a left-handed batter in the batter's box. That would be an obstacle for her throwing to first, but, throws it, no hesitation.
1-2 pitch. Upstairs, 2-2. Boy, that'd be a tough way for your season to come to an end with a pickoff behind you at first base.
Yeah, definitely not the ideal way to go out. If there is such a thing.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. I guess the only way to go out is with a championship of some sort. 2-2 pitch is fouled off at the plate. Bold's just getting enough of it to stay alive.
Yeah, I was thinking that was looking like drop third strike.
Bold has to reach. Vaughn in the on-deck circle has to reach. So on and so forth. Back-to-back 3-run innings for Louisiana Tech in the second and third. 2-2 popped up foul. We'll do it again. Those 3 runs in the second unearned. Not against Shelby Nunn. But they still count. Doesn't matter if they're earned or unearned.
Right.
Never heard of a team say, no, you know what? Those are unearned. We don't want them.
You can have them back.
Yeah, we'll give them back. 2-2, a little floater into left. Turkley is there, and Louisiana Tech has secured their date with Florida Atlantic tomorrow at 2 p.m., surviving to top Western Kentucky by a final score of 6-1 here in Game 3 of the day at Dottridge Stadium. Final totals for Louisiana Tech: 6 runs, 8 hits, no errors, 5 runners left on base. Western Kentucky, the 1 run in the 6th inning, 7 hits, couple of errors hurt them here this afternoon. 7 runners left on base. Presley Galloway will get the win. We will likely see her again tomorrow. Tough loss for Shelby Nunn. Again, you take away that error in the 2nd inning in those 3 runs, things could be a lot different from there.
Right, that's the name of the game. Whoever's going to blink first, especially in softball, moves so fast. Whoever's going to make the mistake first and capitalize.
All right, Maddie Morris is down on the field with Mark Montgomery, head coach of the Lady Texters. Let's go down to Maddie now.
Okay, Coach, congratulations. First game in the books, kind of shook those jitters a little bit. What are you most impressed with how you guys played today?
Well, we ended the season kind of on a rough note. We were 1 game away from winning the championship, and instead we ended up becoming the 4th seed. So, El Paso wasn't kind to us. So I think I'm the most proud that the team came out and they showed energy and effort and enthusiasm. They were excited to play again, and it really showed, and we jumped on them early and were able to really hold on. So I'm just excited for them.
Yeah, how will you guys try to replicate that tomorrow against Florida Atlantic?
Well, it's the same way, right? It's now we're on a neutral site. We're not playing in somebody's backyard, and it's one of those to where as long as we go out and be the team that we are, then I'm not worried about the outcome. The process will be enough.
Awesome. Thank you, Coach. Congrats. We'll see you tomorrow. Back up to you guys.
All right, thanks, Maddie. Louisiana Tech getting the job done with a 6-1 victory here over Western Kentucky. They move on to play Florida Atlantic tomorrow at 2 p.m. That'll do it for us. Game 3 in the books. 1 more coming up for Haley Pace. Sean Fox here saying so long from Sue M. Dottridge Stadium in Charlotte. FIU in Middle Tennessee comes your way at 7:30 here on BN Sports. Stay tuned for the extra coming up next Thanks for watching the 2018 Conference USA Softball Championships.